Hi, grandkids. I haven't seen y'all in a little while. We're still in COVID, but guess what? Just a few minutes ago, Papa and I got our second COVID vaccination. So in 2 weeks, I think we're home free. I'm real happy that we got it. We'll see if my arm starts hurting or if we feel bad. But I'm ready for us to be back to where we can see you whenever we want. I miss you. Um, we're going to start a new one today called The United States with Marmi. Yeah, we're going to learn all the state capitals. Did you know that this is a picture of the United States? The gold part is the shape of the United States, and so we're going to learn the states' capitals in order. And the first thing I'm going to say is the name of the state, and then I'm going to say the capital. Um, when you go in alphabetical order, that means, Will and Thomas, can y'all tell the others what it means if you go in alphabetical order? It means you start with A. And the very first state, if you start with A, is Alabama. Alabama is shaped like that, and that little star is where the capital is. And the capital of Alabama is Montgomery. This is Alabama's flag. It's kind of a funny flag. I don't think I really like a big X flag, but it's probably got some meaning to them in Alabama. So everybody say Montgomery, Alabama. The next state is Alaska, and it's up really far north. It's very cold. There's almost always snow there, and Thomas got to go to Alaska. When he went to see his Uncle Matt, he got to go there. That's Alaska, and that's the flag of Alaska, and the capital is Juneau. Juneau, Alaska. Everybody say Juneau, Alaska. And now we're on Arizona. I like their flag. Arizona is over by California, and Jonathan's whole family, Will and Landon and everybody, went through Arizona when they went on their Route 66 vacation. The capital of Arizona is Phoenix. Say Phoenix, Arizona. Good job. The next state is Arkansas. Arkansas is right by Texas, and that's where Mabel was born. She was born in Texarkana, Arkansas. The capital of Arkansas is Little Rock. Little Rock, Arkansas. And now here's California, one of the big states. Look at its flag. It has a bear on it. And the star is up kind of farther, maybe a little in the middle. But the capital of California is Sacramento. Sacramento, California. Next is Colorado. We love to go to Colorado. A lot of us have been there. I know all of the dads have been there, and probably all the moms, but not all the kids. Thomas and Hannah went, but Colorado, the capital of Colorado is Denver. Denver, Colorado. Practice saying Denver, Colorado. We're going to go faster as we go. At the end, we'll practice real fast. But now we're learning, so we're going slower. The next one is Connecticut. I love Connecticut. The capital of Connecticut is Hartford. And Papa and I went to Hartford, Connecticut. And downtown, right by the Capitol building in Hartford, there's a street called Asylum Street. And we got lost. I had let Papa out of the car. I was driving a rental car, and I let Papa out because he was going to run in the store and buy something, and then we got lost on Asylum Street. So we have funny memories of Connecticut. The capital is Hartford, Hartford, Connecticut. Next is Delaware. And Delaware has a cool flag. Look at that. I like that flag. Delaware is Dover. So Dover, Delaware. Dover, Delaware. Florida. And the capital of Florida is Tallahassee. Tallahassee, Florida. Tallahassee, Florida. Say it. Next, we have Georgia. Georgia's in the South and part of the Old South, and the capital of Georgia is Atlanta. I'm making sure because some of these I forget. The capital of Georgia is Atlanta. Say Atlanta, Georgia. Next is Hawaii. These are islands. Some people say Hawaii looks like paradise. It has beaches and beautiful blue oceans, and Landon and Will's Aunt Cece lived there, and they got to go to Hawaii. So the capital of Hawaii is Honolulu. Can you say, it's fun to say it, Honolulu, Hawaii. Honolulu, Hawaii. Honolulu, Hawaii. Next is Idaho, and the capital of Idaho is Boise. See that shape? And that's their flag, Boise, Idaho. Next is Illinois, and the capital of Illinois is Springfield. Springfield, Illinois. Next is Indiana. Ooh, I like that flag. Look at Indiana's flag. Indiana's capital is Indianapolis. Indianapolis, Indiana. That's kind of easy to remember. We went through there when we took a trip to Pittsburgh when all of the boys, Jason, Jared, and Jonathan, were small. We spent the night in Indianapolis, Indiana. Can you say it? Indianapolis, Indiana. Next, we're already to Iowa. Iowa's capital is Des Moines. Des Moines, Iowa. And Kansas. You probably watched the movie The Wizard of Oz, and in it, Dorothy is from Kansas. And when she goes to the land of Oz, she says, it's all crazy colors and everything looks different. And she says to her little dog, Toto, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. Kansas capital is Topeka. I didn't know it. Say Topeka, Kansas. Topeka, Kansas. Good. Next is Kentucky. The state capital is Frankfort. Frankfort, Kentucky. Frankfort, Kentucky. And then we have Louisiana. The state capital of Louisiana is Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Can you say that? Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And here comes Maine. Oh man, I really want to go to Maine. It's the only state in New England that I haven't been to. The New England states are all really far up past New York. They're right by Canada. And Maine is one that I haven't been to. The capital of Maine is Augusta. Augusta, Maine. I bet that's not hard to learn. Augusta, Maine. Then there's Maryland. Maryland is right by Washington, D.C., and I've been there when I visited Washington, D.C. one time. The capital is Annapolis. Annapolis, Maryland. I know Will went there one time when his Uncle R2 was, I think, stationed there at Annapolis. But anyway, can you say Annapolis, Maryland? Annapolis, Maryland. That's the state capital. And here's my favorite state. Okay, Texas is always my favorite state. But if it weren't for Texas, this is my favorite state. Massachusetts. The capital of Massachusetts is, of course, Boston. Say Boston, Massachusetts. Massachusetts. Boston, Massachusetts. If you say it fast, you don't say it right. The reason I love it is a whole bunch of the best writers of books were born and lived in Massachusetts, like Thoreau and Hawthorne and Dickinson and all these writers that I like. I've been to Massachusetts 4 times, and I just love to go there. So the capital is Boston, Massachusetts. Next is Michigan. The capital of Michigan is Lansing. I'm glad I looked. I almost said Detroit. Nope. Lansing, Michigan. Lansing, Michigan. And next we have Minnesota. And the capital of Minnesota is St. Paul. Have y'all heard of it? St. Paul, Minnesota. And here's Mississippi. Mississippi is a southern state. I've been to Mississippi a lot, and I really like it. They have catfish and the blues music, and the capital of Mississippi is Jackson. Jackson, Mississippi. And your Papa Jim lived in Jackson, Mississippi when he went to college. Jackson, Mississippi. And there's Missouri. Missouri isn't very far. It's kind of in the middle of the United States, and the capital of Missouri is Jefferson City. Jefferson City, Missouri. Can y'all say that? Try it. Jefferson City, Missouri. Okay. We're already to Montana. Here's Montana. The capital of Montana is Helena. Helena, Montana. You say that? Helena, Montana. Okay, next is Nebraska. Nebraska's in the middle of the country, and it's known for growing a whole lot of corn and a whole lot of food. A lot of people farm in Nebraska, and the capital is Lincoln. Lincoln, Nebraska. Say that. Lincoln, Nebraska. Next is Nevada, and the capital of Nevada is Carson City. Carson City, Nevada. Carson City, Nevada. Practice it. Next is New Hampshire. The capital is Concord, and it's up right by Massachusetts. And we took a drive, Papa and I took a drive through there in the fall when all the leaves are turning, and we drove through New Hampshire and Vermont and Massachusetts, and it was gorgeous. And the capital is Concord, Concord, New Hampshire. Can you say Concord, New Hampshire? Next is New Jersey. It's on what they call the eastern seaboard. It's on the Atlantic Ocean, and it's right by New York City. And the capital of New Jersey is Trenton. Trenton, New Jersey. Next, we have New Mexico. It's right by Texas. I think everyone of the older grandkids might have been to New Mexico. Jackson, I don't think he's been to New Mexico yet, and I know Laura hasn't been to New Mexico, but the rest of you probably have. New Mexico, the capital is Santa Fe. Santa Fe, New Mexico. And then we're at New York. And New York has the biggest city in the whole United States called New York City. But that's not the capital. The capital is Albany, New York. Can you say Albany, New York? Next is North Carolina. I like their flag too. It looks cool. The capital of North Carolina is Raleigh. Raleigh, North Carolina. And now we're at North Dakota, who has a very cool flag and a very square state. Look at their state. It's really square. And the capital of North Dakota is Bismarck. Bismarck, North Dakota. Ohio. Columbus, Ohio. I'm going to have a song for you when we do this, so it'll help. But just remember, Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio. Say it. Oklahoma. There's Oklahoma. It's right close to where y'all live. If you went straight north from your house for 1 hour, you would be in Oklahoma. And the capital is Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And then we have Oregon. The capital is Salem. Salem, Oregon. Salem, Oregon. I really think just hearing the words, just hearing them a few times, it helps you get used to where you can learn them. And here's Pennsylvania. We took a trip to Pennsylvania in 1994, and the capital of Pennsylvania is Harrisburg. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And now Rhode Island. That's Rhode Island. The capital is Providence. Providence, Rhode Island. Providence is right by Cape Cod, which I hope so much that every single one of my grandchildren get to go to Cape Cod once in their life, because Cape Cod is beautiful. It's a beach, but it's not hot. It's a pleasant, cool beach, and I hope you get to go there. But Providence is the town that's kind of close to Cape Cod. It's called Providence, Rhode Island. Providence, Rhode Island. South Carolina is Columbia. Well, they have an interesting flag with a moon and a tree. I don't know the story to that. South Carolina is, let me say this right, Columbia. Columbia, South Carolina. Say it. Columbia, South Carolina. And now South Dakota. Here's a funny name town, Pierre. Can you say it? Pierre, South Dakota. Pierre, South Dakota. Next is Tennessee. Y'all's great-grandparents all lived in Tennessee. There's Memphis and Nashville, all kinds of big towns in Tennessee, and it's beautiful with big trees everywhere. And your great-great-grandparents and your Papa Jim lived in Memphis, and it was right by the Mississippi River. But don't get confused, because those are not the capitals. The capital of Tennessee is Nashville. Nashville, Tennessee. Now, here's the most important state of all. The best in every way is Texas. That's our favorite state. You have had family own land in Texas. You're the 7th generation. Yeah, that's a big deal, because a lot of people move to Texas because it's so cool to live here. Everybody wants to move to Texas, but our family has been in Texas since, I think we can go all the way back to when it became a state, because it used to be a nation by itself. So Texas, we have a lot of pride to be Texans. And here's Texas flag. It's called the Lone Star State and the Lone Star flag. The capital of Texas is Austin, and it's only about 3 hours from where you live. Austin, Texas. Can y'all say Austin, Texas? You might even have a friend named Austin, because it's kind of cool to be named after the capital of Texas. Austin, Texas. We're getting close to the end. Here's Utah. Utah's pretty square, and the capital is Salt Lake City. I'm going to give you a minute to say it. Salt Lake City, Utah. Salt Lake City, Utah. And here's another good state that I love, Vermont. The capital of Vermont is Montpelier. Montpelier. Sounds kind of French to me, but it's called Montpelier. It's one word, Montpelier. Next we have Virginia, and the capital is Richmond. Richmond, Virginia. Richmond, Virginia. And next we have Washington, Olympia, Washington. I want to go there sometime. It's in the Pacific Northwest, but the capital of the state of Washington is Olympia. Olympia, Washington. Next is West Virginia, and the capital is, I had to double check, Charleston, West Virginia. Charleston, West Virginia. And then here's Wisconsin, and the capital is Madison, Wisconsin. Madison, Wisconsin. And the very last state, that's 50. The very last state alphabetically is Wyoming. I have to even look. The capital of Wyoming is Cheyenne. Cheyenne, Wyoming. Okay, so that's a little introduction to the states. Now we are going to, I'm going to try to find some fun ways to put on that'll help you learn them. We'll be back in a minute. Bye, grandkids. Okay, grandkids, here's kind of a fun way. I tried every way to put this little video in to my state capitals YouTube, and I couldn't do it. So I'm going to try doing it this way, and I hope you can see it because I just think this is the coolest song. And then I might have another song.
Wisconsin is where I gotta be. Yeah, then I'll take a plane to. Well, actually, I'm afraid to fly, so I think I'll take the train. Let's go, go, go. Going to Trenton, New Jersey, Frankfort, Kentucky. Maybe take a trip to Jackson, Mississippi. Let's see what they can show me in Jefferson City, Missouri. Santa Fe, New Mexico, Denver, Colorado, Boise, Idaho. I love it every time that I go. In 1492, he sailed the ocean blue, but next week I'll see Columbus in Ohio. Grab a little sunshine in Tallahassee, Florida. Take a bite of a beach in Atlanta, Georgia. I've never been to Carson City in Nevada or Lincoln, Nebraska. You can catch me in Phoenix, Arizona, or Sacramento, California. Yeah, St. Paul, Minnesota, maybe Juneau, Alaska. Yeah, I want to take a little trip somewhere. Yeah, places I've never been. Yeah, going on a tour without a care. I want to take a little trip somewhere. Yeah, places I've never been. Yeah, going on a tour. Boston, Massachusetts, Concord, New Hampshire. Going to Vermont for Montpelier. Montgomery, Alabama, then Washington, D.C. to see the nation's capital. Aloha to Honolulu, Hawaii, Des Moines, Iowa, so peaceful to me. Going to Springfield, Illinois to build a little house on a prairie. In Little Rock, Arkansas, I love what I saw. Going back to Dover, Delaware, cause I want more. Indianapolis, Indiana, and Hartford, Connecticut, need an encore. Smelling pine trees in Augusta, Maine. I like Topeka, Kansas, I'm glad that I came, but I've never been to Salt Lake City, in Utah or Richmond, Virginia. Gonna see Bismarck, North Dakota, and Charleston, West Virginia. Yeah, Annapolis, Maryland, maybe Lansing, Michigan. Yeah, Helena, Montana, Columbia, South Carolina. Gotta go to Pierre, South Dakota. Yeah, follow if you wanna. I'll be eating a banana in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Schedule that on my planner. Friends say I gotta come sooner to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. So I guess I'm gonna. But first I'm going to Cheyenne, Wyoming, then party in Raleigh, North Carolina. Yeah, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Can't think of a rhyme for Pennsylvania. So I'm skipping to Salem, Oregon, then Austin, Texas, and then maybe Albany, New York for breakfast. Providence, Rhode Island was a blast. And Olympia, Washington was just the bestest. I want to take a little trip somewhere. Yeah, places I've never been. Yeah, going on a tour without a care. I want to take a little trip somewhere. Yeah, places I've never been. Yeah, going on a tour. I want to take a little trip somewhere. Yeah, places I've never been. Yeah, going on a tour without a care. I want to take a little trip somewhere. Yeah, places I've never been. Yeah, going on a tour.
Okay, so that was a little old school trying to show you that. I'll put the link at the end, but listen to that and sometimes it'll help you memorize. So, we've done a lot of talking about cities and states. I hope y'all start learning them a little bit, maybe even just the songs, but you'll be way ahead if you already know the state capitals. It's been fun. I miss you guys so much. No arm pain yet. not having any problem with my COVID-19 vaccination. Hope school is good, and I miss Laura and Hannah and Thomas and Jackson and Will and Landon. I miss you guys. But I love you, and maybe we can see each other before too long. Bye. Okay, I'm back. Here's another good video. I hope you can see it a little better. But just hearing it'll help you memorize. Let me get it started.
The Daily Double. Wacko, you can wager all or part of your money.
I'll blow the wad.
All right then. In the category of the United States, the answer is the names of all 50 states and their capitals.
Okay. Here goes. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, and Columbus is the capital of Ohio. There's Montgomery, Alabama, south of Helena, Montana. Then there's Denver, Colorado, under Boise, Idaho. Texas has Austin, then we go north to Massachusetts, Boston, and Albany, New York. Tallahassee, Florida, and Washington, D.C. Santa Fe, New Mexico, and Nashville, Tennessee. Elvis used to hang out there a lot, you know. Trenton's in New Jersey, north of Jefferson, Missouri. You got Richmond in Virginia, South Dakota has Pierre. Harrisburg's in Pennsylvania, and Augusta's up in Maine. And here is Providence, Rhode Island, next to Dover, Delaware. Concord, New Hampshire, just a quick jaunt to Montpelier, which is up in Vermont. Hartford's in Connecticut, so pretty in the fall. And Kansas has Topeka, Minnesota has St. Paul. Juneau's in Alaska, and there's Lincoln in Nebraska, and it's Raleigh out in North Carolina, and then there's Madison, Wisconsin, and Olympia in Washington, Phoenix, Arizona, and Lansing, Michigan. Here's Honolulu, Hawaii's a joy, Jackson, Mississippi, and Springfield, Illinois, South Carolina with Columbia down the way, and Annapolis and Maryland on Chesapeake Bay. They have wonderful clam chowder. Cheyenne is in Wyoming, and perhaps you make your home in Salt Lake City, out in Utah where the buffalo roam. Atlanta's down in Georgia, and there's Bismarck, North Dakota, and you can live in Frankfurt in your old Kentucky home. Salem in Oregon, from there we join. Little Rock in Arkansas, Iowa's got Des Moines, Sacramento, California, Oklahoma and its city, Charleston, West Virginia, and Nevada, Carson City. That's all the capitals there are. Huh?
Oh, I'm so sorry. You failed to put your response in the form of a question. Wacko, you can wager all or part of your money.
Okay, so I'm a little goofy that I can't get the link, but here's the deal. I'm going to type in the link to those videos and maybe some more that are about the alphabets, and then your parents can click on them, or Will and Thomas probably know how to type them in and watch the videos. But they're kind of fun. I love y'all. Keep learning. Hey, I'm going to read through them really fast this time. I have to look down and read, and that way you can just hear them one more time. Montgomery, Alabama. Juneau, Alaska. Phoenix, Arizona. Little Rock, Arkansas. Sacramento, California. Denver, Colorado. Hartford, Connecticut. Dover, Delaware. Tallahassee, Florida. Atlanta, Georgia. Honolulu, Hawaii. Boise, Idaho. Springfield, Illinois. Indianapolis, Indiana. Des Moines, Iowa. Topeka, Kansas. Here we go. Frankfort, Kentucky. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Augusta, Maine. Annapolis, Maryland. Boston, Massachusetts, Lansing, Michigan, St. Paul, Minnesota, Jackson, Mississippi, Jefferson City, Missouri, Helena, Montana, Lincoln, Nebraska, Carson City, Nevada, Concord, New Hampshire, Trenton, New Jersey, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Albany, New York, Raleigh, North Carolina, Bismarck, North Dakota, Columbus, Ohio, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Salem, Oregon, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Providence, Rhode Island, Columbia, South Carolina, Pierre, South Dakota, Nashville, Tennessee, Austin, Texas, the best, Salt Lake City, Utah, Montpelier, Vermont, Richmond, Virginia, Olympia, Washington, Charleston, West Virginia, Madison, Wisconsin, and Cheyenne, Wyoming. That's 50. See ya.